What if a $25 million Picasso was hiding in your house right now and you had no idea? Carl Sabatino never expected his aunt's dying words to lead him to a mystery, one that would take him decades to solve. On her deathbed, Aunt Jenny gave him a cryptic instruction: look under the sewing machine. Confused but obedient, Carl ventured into her home's hidden crawlspace where he found an old sewing machine, just as she'd said. But as he lifted it, something fluttered to the ground. A piece of paper. No, not just paper, a painting. At first glance, it seemed unremarkable, just a faded artwork his aunt must have cherished. But then Carl spotted the signature in the corner, a name that made his breath catch. Picasso? How was this possible? As the story unfolded, Carl learned that his uncle had bought the piece for a mere $30 from a street vendor during World War II. For decades, Aunt Jenny had kept it hidden, never speaking of its existence. Now it was in Carl's hands, a possible treasure beyond imagination. But when he took it to experts, their verdict crushed his hopes. It's a fake, they declared. An identical Picasso already existed in a museum's collection. The painting in Carl's hands? Worthless. Yet something didn't add up. Driven by doubt, Carl dove into research, uncovering a fascinating possibility. Picasso had been known to recreate his own works, experimenting with new techniques. Could this be one of those rare duplicates? For 15 years, Carl fought for the truth. He consulted historians, scientists, and art authenticators. And finally, after painstaking analysis, the verdict came. The painting was real. A genuine Picasso, lost to history, hiding for decades beneath a sewing machine. In the end, the art world recognized its worth: $25 million. But for Carl, the real treasure wasn't the money. It was the legacy of a secret kept by his aunt until her final breath, waiting for the right moment to be discovered. And all it took was one simple instruction: look under the sewing machine. So tell me, if your dying relative whispered a secret to you, would you ignore it or would you go digging for a fortune?